I have never seen base leaking this bad in Legends League. Take a look at this. In this Discord server, Itzu's bases are getting leaked pretty much every single day. As a base builder myself, I 100% feel for Itzu here. Building a base can take ages, tweaking it can take ages, and the second that you run the base, if it gets leaked, all of that progress is completely wiped. In case you haven't caught on already, in today's video, I'm going to be giving my opinions on the new Legends League system as a highly competitive player. I'm going to talk about the good things, the bad things, and some changes that I would like to see happen. But let's jump right back into the issue of base leaking. Let's get the bad stuff out of the way first, then we'll move on to the good. And then we'll talk about my suggestions to improve the rank system. Make sure to let me know your opinions of the rank system in the comment section below. I'm going to be talking over one of my attack replays, so let's get right into it. Okay, so as I said, the first thing I want to talk about is base leaking. We've already seen that Itzu's bases get leaked pretty much every single day, which is really frustrating for base builders because it does, as I said, take a lot of hard work. Now, I appreciate that probably 90-80% of you guys watching use base leaking services as your main source of bases, but I think if Supercell were to stop base leaking from happening just by hiding the player names on your attacks for maybe, I don't know, a day after the attack or something, that's when you could then see the player's name. That just gives a bit of a delay to the base builder or the person whose base is being leaked to where they can tweak with plenty of time. They can actually get some good value out of the base before it does get leaked. And at the same time, people still can get these bases free of charge. But I think if they were to do this as well, it would really inspire a new wave of people trying to base build. I feel like for so long, base building has been quite a niche thing that most people either get base leaked or they pay for some kind of subscription from some kind of base builder, right? So I think with this change, it really would encourage people to build their own bases, to share their bases with their friends, etc, etc. And I mean, as you guys know, competitiveness drives innovation. Definitely there'll be more competitive base building. People would be looking for new ways to defend, whereas right now, I feel like the base meta is quite stale. I mean, last season it was rage bases, now it's poison bases, and it's just kind of been boring for so long. And I think if we were to stop base leaking and stop everyone from kind of having an easy way out, or, you know, everyone using the same base, I think that would really be beneficial for Legends, and it would kind of wake up this, as I say, niche, this kind of overlooked thing of base building, which is actually a very core part of Legends. Of course, defense is super important. And at the same time, I think that this would benefit base builders themselves. It would really reward hard work in Legends for defense, rather than just waiting for a base to get posted. Now, I appreciate there are some issues with this point. You know, maybe some people don't have time to build their own bases, to do some research, you know, tweak some old bases, whatever. That's definitely an issue, but again, you have the bases still being leaked, maybe just a bit of a delay to when you can see the player name. I think that would be amazing. The second issue, the second bad thing that would solve is win trading. Now, admittedly, win trading, I don't think has been as prominent this season. I don't really think there's any win traders about right now, especially maybe on the leaderboards. But again, there is still that option. There is no reason that you can't start win trading again. And just by hiding the player names for literally a day after the attack or something, so you can still maybe see who you've attacked afterwards. You know, was it your friend? Was it some YouTuber, etc.? I think that would fix pretty much every single major issue that I have with the new Legends system. So that pretty much covers the bad of the new Legends system. It hasn't really fixed base leaking, and it hasn't really fixed win trading. But that pretty much concludes everything bad that I have to say about the new Legends system. Again, it's a pretty easy fix. I really don't know their reasoning behind not making this change. There must be a reason, because it can't be that difficult to do. Now, I'm going to talk about the good thing. Now, this one might be quite controversial for some people watching, but I think the difficulty level in Legends now is amazing. We are finally seeing good attackers get rewarded for good attacks. And I think, personally, this is the way it should be. It shouldn't be about getting attacked by some noob and getting one-starred, or getting a missed defense on a Legends Day or something like that. It should be rewarding people for hard work, and certainly it does now. We've seen that pros are now well within the top 100, they're all over the place. It's not some random guy who's just paying, you know, $40 for a 0 star, because you have to have the offensive power to actually be able to gain trophies and sustain trophies now. And I feel like win traders maybe weren't the most skillful of players, otherwise they wouldn't have been win trading in the first place, right? Which again probably is why we've seen less win traders this season. So yeah, I personally love the level of difficulty. I struggle a lot in Legends. Loads of people struggle a lot in Legends. It's a natural thing, you know, it's balanced. Everyone struggles, it's not just you. And I think this really does inspire, again, more competitiveness, and I love to see it. This change was super necessary. I could have not have done another month of plus 320, minus 320 in the old Legends system and finishing like top 2,000 or something. Like the month where I only failed 3 attacks in the entire season, I didn't even get top 1k. Now, I'm still the same person, I'm still the same attacker, using a slightly different strategy. I'm resetting well within the top 1,000 every single day, if not the top 200 or higher. And again, it's rewarding my hard work. You know, I did not learn how to use Root Riders overnight. It took me like 3 months to get really good at this strategy. And obviously now, I still make mistakes in my hits. And I really do like that. I really like it's a challenge for every player. And it's definitely a breath of fresh air for Legends. Because as I say, the old Legend system was giving me major burnout. But naturally, you cannot please everyone with your updates. And I know some people absolutely despise this new update because they can't triple anymore. And I've said it in one of my previous videos. This is a fact, okay? Bad attackers don't like the new update because they can't 3-star anymore. If you guys can't triple, you need to work on your offense. You'll be rewarded if you get better at the game now. Whereas beforehand, you were rewarded if you got a missed defense in Legends, right? That just doesn't happen anymore, which is super positive for the game, in my opinion. Again, I know a lot of you guys may disagree. You don't like it. You can't triple anymore. But that is the same with everyone. It's not like you getting plus 260 or plus 240 on a Legends day is going to ruin your season because everyone else is getting similar offense like that. So it is still a balanced system. It's not like, oh, I'm not getting plus 320 anymore. I must be falling behind everyone. Well, no, everyone else is struggling in Legends League, but it rewards hard work. If you put in the time, if you put in the effort, you can now get a better rank. Where before, I mean, I put in as much work as I possibly could to get 3 fails in 1 month. I didn't even get top 1k. I mean, that is completely insane, right? So I know some of you guys are going to hate me for that take, but that is just my opinion. Anyways, let's move on to another hot topic, the meta right now. I think in terms of difficulty, the meta is perfect. The game is so hard. You cannot get plus 320s very easily. Pretty much nobody is going consistently plus 320. In fact, I don't think there is a single person in the entire world who's getting plus 320 every day. I think maybe the highest average offense that somebody may have is like 300 or something. And that's like a pro player, you know, that way like, I don't know, like Stars or whoever it might be. And I think that is amazing. One thing I do agree with is the meta is a little bit stale, right? It is just Root Riders, Dragons or Fireball in the top 200, in the top 1,000 as well, actually. So I 100% agree with people. I would love to see maybe some slightly different armies like Super Hogs, Throwers. You know, there's loads of strategies. But I don't want to see Root Riders getting nerfed. I want to see other strategies getting buffed. Because if you get nerfs to Root Riders, the game is just going to be impossible to 3-star. So, yeah, I do agree. Meta is a bit stale. I'd love to see some different armies. But, again, it is a bit of a slippery slope, right? Because if there's slightly different meta armies, then we're just going to get, you know, a new base meta. And then it might be harder to defend. And then, you know, it might be like, you know, you won't gain as many trophies. And it'll be back to, like, you know, a bit more of a balanced system where right now, basically everyone's trying to defend Root Riders. But maybe if they were to change that, people might try and defend Root Riders, Dragons, and Fireball all at the same time. It's going to be impossible, right? So that's why maybe if they did that, the defensive meta might be a little bit harder. And then we may go back to a similar system that we had previously, where it's plus 320, minus 320. Or in this case, it might be plus 280, minus 280, right? So it's a slippery slope. And obviously the game developers know best. And I 100% I'm sure that they are, you know, monitoring the game and checking these things. How is our defense? Which strategies are being used? What's too broken? Etc. And these things don't happen overnight. So I'm 100% sure there will be changes to the meta. Of course, some strategies just aren't as strong anymore with the introduction of the battle modifiers. Specifically, basically any army that isn't roots, dragons, or fireball, right? So yes, I think the meta is a bit stale. That's a bad thing, but in terms of difficulty, I love where the meta is right now, which you've already kind of touched on a little bit. So I might be rambling a little bit during this video, but I think I got all of my points across. Let's now talk about my suggestions, which again I've already pretty much talked about. Suggestion 1, hide player names, preventing base leaking, and also win trading. Not as prominent anymore, but still an issue that could become more popular. You know, just best to just not even give people that option. Again, maybe just a day after the attacks took place or something like that, to just give base builders that kind of delay to be able to, you know, maybe work on a new base or something like that. But at the same time, people still can get bases leaked. I think not a lot of other creators have spoke about that because obviously base leaking is convenient. You don't have to pay any money, etc. But yeah, that's my first suggestion. Second suggestion, make the meta a bit more diverse. Please don't nerf Root Riders or anything like that. They're in the perfect spot. Fireball maybe needs a bit of a nerf. Oh, sorry, a bit of a buff. Dragons maybe need a bit of a buff as well, right? But apart from that, just kind of make everything to the same level that Root Riders are. And again, this doesn't happen overnight. It takes, you know, data collection, and I don't even know what else they got to do to make these informed changes to their game, because of course if they make something too broken, then everyone's just going to use that and it's going to be stale. Everyone's going to get plus 320, minus 320, and so as I say, it's a slippery slope. I'm sure that they're working on it every day, so just be patient. But I 100% do understand the frustrations surrounding the meta at the moment, because I do agree it is a little bit stale. But that concludes my opinion on the new Legend system. Overall, I think this update was such a massive W. Make the game so much more exciting. Supercell have just been taking straight up W's with all of their updates. I don't even care what you guys say. Removal of training times, new rank system, it's all a W in my eyes. So, thank you guys for watching this video. Oh, one thing I didn't talk about, bugs. I personally am not in the position to talk about bugs. I've got no idea how it all works, but I think it's just a natural thing with a game that is so ancient. Anyways, do let me know what you guys think of the update in the comment section. I would absolutely love to know. And let me know if you hate me now because I said something you disagree with in the comment section. But that is all I do have for you guys today. I'll see you for my Legends hits tomorrow. Goodbye.